Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet, and this is NCAA 14 football with the Highland Scotties Team Builder Series. This is episode 19, as this is off season. This is the second part of the off season, as we are taking a look here at signing day. Yes, it is signing day, big day for a lot of incoming freshmen here to sign. Of course, I got a lot of guys here that we've been talking to in the course of this first season, and still trying to make it, or at least we're trying to make their final decisions on where they want to go to school. As you see there, we got Sterling Walton, and then Pat McClellan. But unfortunately, we couldn't get Brian Neal there. He just was undecisive. And of course, a couple other guys that we just could not get there. It was too late, as they were already signed with other schools. So a couple of schools there that we're going to be playing here this season, like Tennessee there, as you see Marcus Lewis going there. And of course, got some other big name schools there that hopefully somewhere in the near future we'll be playing against, and we'll be able to play against those guys. Now, as for us, as you take a look at our board here, and there you see the recruiting board that we got signed. There you see our players, top caliber players, 3-star guys. Got quite a few of those. Got, of course, a couple of 2-star, and then of course a 1-star athlete there. This is the fun part. This is where we're going to see. We got a couple of gems in there. We got a couple of I guess you could say diamonds in the rough there that we can work on, and of course over time get them to be, get better and better as time goes on here. Take a look at some of the other signees, top signees like Ohio State, who got quite a few of 4-star. I think they got one 5-star athlete up there, but for the most part they got a pretty good range of athletes coming in there. So just take a look at that here. We got a lot of guys coming in here, and that means we got quite a few freshmen here. Got some areas still that we need to work on for this upcoming season for recruiting. We got to cover some areas here where there could be some potential drop-offs, as we got a lot of guys now that were sophomores from last year, and they're going to be juniors this year, and of course a lot of freshmen from last year now are going to be sophomores. We got a gap in there that we need to try to fix here, and try to get more guys coming in here. As you take a look at the top schools there with 1-stars being North Texas and Nevada, and then of course the top total prospects signed there, 25 for NC State there, as they have 16 3-star guys going to their school. And so there's just some of the top classes there for and around the NCAA. Highland, of course, we didn't get that. We didn't have a bunch of people coming through here. As we take a look here, we'll see where we're at, and we should be coming up here pretty soon here. I think we're in it's 86 right there, ranked there. So there you see some of the guys freshmen that we were looking at here. We're going to be possibly change some areas here. We got, I believe, Watson, who was originally, I believe, a middle linebacker. We've seen that he was a lot more better when we changed positions there as a middle linebacker. So he's going to be there working with Ramsauer and May there, which especially Ramsauer had a great year last year. Great person to be taught by how to play the position there, as he had a great season last year. So Watson should be pretty good, pretty comfortable there. The three of them actually are rooming together, so that help really works out there. And then you see Willie Walker, who is a guy that we just found, an athlete there, and he's going to be playing free safety there. And there's been talks about possibly maybe having him be a guy that will end up holding on to as a red shirt for next season, as we have, of course, Tolbert and Bass there, the 2 juniors there who already has pretty good experience there. We can have Walker kind of just sit back and wait this upcoming season here. Wait for his sophomore year to really play. So that is something we're going to be looking at, and we're going to be talking about here, or at least with the coaches there, they're going to be talking about that amongst themselves. Take a look at Bubba Daniels, the young man from Wisconsin who we went after during the regular season there. He has signed with us. There you see he's a freshman. He's a he's a center there. And he has pretty good blocking, decent blocking numbers there. He's a guy that could possibly be going on to possibly being redshirted here this upcoming season. And got good. He's a pretty efficient pass blocker there with us, which in some ways right now we need to be focusing on and get better, especially with the quarterback that we have right now with Flanagan, who just is a guy who just loves to get out of the pocket and scramble and make plays with his legs there. So that's something that we're going to be looking into as we go on here and see that. Take a look at the quarterbacks here. Take a look at some of the training numbers here. We got some training from these guys, and we'll see that Flanagan is pretty much the top guy right now. He is going to be the starter again for the second straight year here for the Scotties. And we'll take a look there at Rush's numbers there. Rush, who did a great job there in a couple of games there that pretty much knocked out Flanagan in, which was the I believe the Georgia game, and I think the before that it was the Washington State game where he stepped up, got the triple or quadruple overtime or something like that win, and helped us get out of Washington State with a victory there. And then of course we got some redshirt sophomores there that we got quarterback wise we're going to look at. Can't really redshirt in there this year, but definitely quarterbacks that we're going to be looking into. We do need to bring in this. I know one of the things that coaches were talking about there is that they have those sophomores there who are originally started as freshmen but sophomores. They are going to be needing quarterbacks for next season, so that is something they're going to be looking into here, recruiting wise. Running backs, there you see Kason was up for the Heisman last year. He was in the top 5 there as a top 5 finalist. Fortunately, did not push him, couldn't get him to the finish line there to finish strong, and he was unable to get it as Jalen Hurd of Alabama, or I should not him. It was actually Baker Mayfield, my bad, who got the award. But Kason, still one of your top guys. I believe he won the Walker last year, so congrats to him on that. But he had a great year there for us. Had a slow start, but as the season was going on, especially the last couple of games there, he was on fire, and he was just taking over and just dominating the running game there. So, but yeah, right now we're just kind of trying to look at the training numbers there, looking at blocking. Like right now for the fullbacks there. Excuse me, showing how well they can run block. As I'm sitting here yawning here, and that's not a bad thing here. Kind of late. We're trying to get this video up for you guys here, but yeah, for the most part here, I mean, it looks like we got wide receivers here. They got some pretty good numbers there. Blair a little there, of course, Page, and then Willis and Hood, your second string guys there coming in, and of course we got quite a few. I think we got at least 3 more wide receivers coming in this year that we recruited, and we're hoping to do well here with training sessions and whatnot. There you see Hunter Cannon, our guy there that just had a great year with just great catches from him. Last year he was able to step up and make some pretty good numbers there on the field, and it really was pretty clutch in a lot of moments there for us. Unfortunately, had a great national championship game, but just not enough to get him going there. Here you see the young man, 6'4", 243 pounds from Grand Island, Nebraska. As we move on here and see what else we got going on here. I got some other pretty good tight ends there. Tolbert's another one. Phillips and Parks were on the scout team last year, and they had a couple of games there, or not scout team. They were second string guys, but they had some pretty good games there. Some pretty good catches there. And Coach Dave Bunn said he is pretty comfortable with his tight ends there. And pretty much the receiving core in general, he likes it. One thing that is on his mind is, of course, like I said, quarterback, trying to make sure he stays upright, but also the blocking. The pass blocking has to get better there, and not to mention too, they want to make sure there's some good blocking by running the option. That's something they want to work on here this during the off season, is get the option going there, because that's one of Coach Teddy Bond's favorite things to do, is to run the option, especially with good speedy backs, or even with power backs there. He just likes to open up a hole there and just let them run through it, and just truck guys when they need to, so they can get down the field. So and then like I said, defense here, defense was pretty solid. There was a couple games they kind of lacked in. For the most part here, at least by the coaches, they're pretty satisfied with the defense, and they're pretty confident that the defense will still be great from this past season. So there's a few games there that we did give up quite a few points, but basically just the idea of keeping us in the game, keeping us relative, with the exception of of course, national championship game where we gave up 41 points. But if you look at it, I mean, the first two quarters, really, they did a great job there. It was just the interceptions that Flanagan threw, and then just the great, offense really coming alive there for Alabama, getting down the field when they wanted to and marching. That pretty much, was the, really that's what helped. That's what hurt us the most. There was, we just couldn't get them off the field quickly enough, and so it happens. Of course, they were not meant to be there in the first place, but the team did a great job there of showing what they can do. Now, time for probably one of the toughest things in. As a coach, and one of those things is cutting players. So you see Antonio Reeves, one of the players there that we brought in. We liked what he did during the spring ball when he came in, but actually bringing him in and see what he can do there. As a halfback, that's just not acceptable for us with the running there. You see 84 speed. We need a good speedy back. He's a power back. We have a couple of those guys now. So him, Antonio Reed, unfortunately, we're going to have to cut him. So he'll get cut. And then we'll get, he's from, 6 foot, 194 pounds from Mission Hills, Kansas. Unfortunately, he will not be a part of our squad this year, so we'll go ahead and cut him. Also, too, we had 3 wide receivers that we brought in as freshmen. Chris Jones from Guadalupe, Arizona. Brandon Hawkins, another wide receiver, 6'4", 211 pounds. Yeah, 211 pounds. Madison Heights, Michigan. He will not be with us. And Kyle James, 6'3", 205 pound from Rockledge, Florida. He will not be a part of our team here. So some tough things going on here when we just got to try to see and hopefully we made the right choices when cutting these guys here. And that's always something in the back of your mind. You're always thinking like, did did we make the right choice? Did we bring the right guys in? And that's something that you, for a while there, for the first couple of weeks, you're kind of wondering that with this new team that you have, especially with the way we're trying to build up a good, solid freshman core. So hopefully by the time they get the juniors, we'll be in contention and be a team that can win games, just like how we were just last year, and a great possibility here like we are this year. I mean, there's some high hopes, at least among the team, but also in the media, about us and what we can do here this season, as this is going to be our second year as we're in Division I football. But there you see some of the other Chris Jones there, one of the other players. We had to make 11 cuts this year, so it was, making these 11 cuts is always the toughest, because, like I said, you don't want to give up the wrong person or the wrong or the wrong individuals here. You want to make sure that you have a team that's going to be successful, and some of these guys I've looked at, it was really tough trying to figure out what. It really came down to just some little bitty things, just a point or here or two. Well, in a lot of ways, a lot of these guys were just 1 or 2 points away when it came to speed, or if you're on the offensive or defensive line, offensive line blocking, run blocking, pass blocking, impact, and then your impact blocking, and then or defensively how to be able to swim through there, break tackles and shuck tackles and stuff like that. So it's always tough trying to figure out which guy you want to be, especially if they're so close in overalls. And it comes down to some of the little small things, like the little intangibles that players have. That's pretty tough and pretty much what we have to go through, or at least what the coach have to go through when cutting players. So cutting players is never easy, because you're always second guessing yourself of, is this the right person we cut, or do we cut a guy that's been here for a while that just is not able to do what we want him to do. And so maybe it is time for us to kind of part ways and move on to something else. Always tough for us, or I should say for the school, to really do anything there. But yeah, there's some of the rest of your. There's another cut player there. I believe, what's the other one? Garrett right there. He's another player that we had to make a decision again to cut and try to fit enough people on this, fit what we need on this roster. And that's, like I said, always one of the toughest things, because you don't know. You could be cutting a guy that can make a huge difference for your ball club. So just trying to do your best and trying to make sure, nothing else. You hope that everything goes well with your player that you did choose, to help your ball club out and try to make your ball club and yourself better. But yeah, that is pretty much. I think there's a few more cuts here that we're gonna see as we move along here. So, but yeah, the other thing I was going to talk about real quick here, and I'm going to talk about it again in the recruiting special we'll have here. But the other thing is recruitments for this year was really good. I had some pretty good recruitments. I'll show you guys that video here. That video should be put up here pretty soon. But it has some pretty good guys that you guys named, and really, truly, you guys did a great job of the backstory of a lot of these guys, and I want realistic background stories about about the players that you guys want me to recruit for this series. And for the most part here, some really talented guys out there that you guys created and sent in by email. And I'll leave a link to the video that you guys can follow. That video tells pretty good explanation of what I'm looking for when it comes to players and how I want, because really sure I want to be able to read some of these players and read their bios and see if I can actually see them. Is it realistic? I want to have a realistic bio about this person. Like I said, whoever does well, if their player does well here on this series, especially if they play for our team and they get, they're a regular and a household name for this team, they could potentially have their own series here on the channel. So we're looking for that here, and we're hoping that with the 10 that we have, we're hoping that we'll have some breakout. Hopefully we could be able to recruit them for one. Hopefully we'll be able to get them to sign with us and be a part of our team. But secondly, hopefully we have a successful season or successful career with them, and they'll be talented enough to help us get to where we want to get to, which is, of course, winning a national championship for this team. And there you see some of the corners there that we have. And of course, Ronaldo Franklin was one of the guys I really did not want to cut at all. But we had to break it down to where man coverage, zone coverage, and of course pursuit and all that kind of stuff. And he just didn't have the numbers there to help us out. When recruiting him, he was pretty much one of our guys there. I was kind of excited about that we were able to sign, but unfortunately, just did not have the numbers there to stay on the team, and that's how it's going to end. Now, as for the schedule, take a look at the schedule. Is the strength of schedule there? We've got a pretty good schedule. Now, I went ahead and I changed some of these. This is I didn't have time to redo this part of the video, but looking at the schedule, I did change some things. Any game you see there that is a ranked game, those are away games. So like the Georgia game up top there should be away. And then we only have 3 ranked opponents we're going to be playing this season. So I went ahead and did that. But the strength of schedule is a B-. I think I can. Coach Tabon says he's cool with that. Again, hopefully having a successful season, and to that successful season is being 6 games, winning 6 games there or more, so we can be bowl eligible. And so we're hoping to be able to, go to a successful bowl, go to a successful bowl, and of course gain money from that, and again try to draw recruits to us and try to get them to come to the small or if not the smallest Division I school in college football history. So we'll try to see, try to work on that and everything. But I'll go ahead and tell you what the schedule is going to look like here, if you guys want to see it. This is the official schedule. What you're seeing right here is one I originally did. It's the same teams in the same order, but just some of them have been changed either home or away. Tennessee, week 1, we're going to be at home. Week 2, we're on the road going against number 16 Georgia. Week 3 at home with Washington. Week 4 on the road in New Mexico State. Week 5 we have a bye. Week 6 on the road with UMass. Week 7 also on the road to number 22 ranked Wisconsin. Number 8, week 8, let's see, at number 20 LSU. And then Arkansas State at number 9 at week 9. Week 10 is a bye week, the second bye week of the regular season. And then Week 11 is at Colorado State, and then the final 3 games are all at home. We'll be hosting TCU, North Texas, and Stanford. So that is the schedule, and we're hoping to have a good year here. We want to play, of course, a lot of these guys we played last year. I decided to replay them because we were such close games, exciting games. We're hoping to see if the same thing is going to happen again. And of course, test ourselves against good schools like that, especially against excellent schools like Georgia and Tennessee, who are in a very tough conference. They're in the SEC, and then Washington State. We had, of course, like I said, we had that. I can't remember if it was a triple overtime or a quadruple overtime, but we want to play against them this time at home and see how we test against them and see if we can put them away, unlike the first game, or the first time we met there in last season against them in Washington State. So take a look here at our pipelines here. We don't have any pipelines that we're worried about losing next year. We have a few, quite a few pipelines here, but as you take a look here, we got some guys that got some possible prospects that we're looking at in states up above there, but at the same time, we want to try to see if we can get into those areas that we have zeros in, or if we have 1 or 2 people that we're looking at right now. So that's, like I said, we're looking at that draft or recruiting wise there, to make the team better, and try to get some guys that we states that it's tougher to recruit in, and try to get the states that we border, like Iowa, Nebraska, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Colorado. So just trying to get those neighboring states there so we can try to get guys. But of course we got schools or areas like Texas, California, and Florida that we can still recruit in because we have a strong pipeline through those. So and that's all thanks to Coach Teddy Bond. So but that is it for this episode, and episode 19 and off-season part 2. When next time you guys will see me will be a special recruitment video, showing you guys the 10 recruitments I picked, and I'll tell you a little backstory on those characters there, and whatnot. Some of those for the most part they're on our recruiting board, and we'll get into more of that here, and not so much in that video, but in the future videos, and then we'll have the first episode of season 2 of the Highland Scotties Sports Talk here. So that'll be coming up here very soon here on the channel. So we'll have the first the season, or the season 2 debut Scotty Sports Talk there, talking about the upcoming season here, and the first game, which will be against Tennessee in week 1 there. So it should be a good one. Number 5, Highland Scotties going against Tennessee at home. Should be a good one. I cannot wait. So that is it for this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode, and as always, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you guys can be a part of the ESGN Nation. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. Check us out there for the latest news and events on what's going on here on the channel and what is going on in the world of sports gaming. That is it for me, and as always, I will see you guys next time.